It's like this little dirty little bass line.
I don't fucking care. Can we move on to a new segment, please?
Welcome to Just Two Fans, a sports show about sports,
Obviously.
about life,
Because sports are life.
and about just whatever the hell we feel like talking about. So, let's go.
What is up, everybody?
What's good, y'all?
I'm Jay Freelander. That's Eli Johnson. And this is the Just Two Fans podcast.
Yeah. And then that down here, that would be super producer Cameron. Say hi, super producer Cameron.
Hi, super producer Cameron.
Good job.
You thought you'd get me with that?
What?
You thought you'd get me with that?
Throwing you a curveball.
Yeah, throwing in
Yeah.
the title too.
Yeah, you know, I want to throw the respect on the name. You know,
I appreciate that.
you're not just Cameron. You are super producer.
You know, it's really hard to get this intro down when we have like 3 or 4 or 2 or so many
We
different
have so many different
number of people every week. And we
I
got
don't know,
one
you-
more coming. Like,
Yeah,
Chris
you
is
guys
just
look-
gonna show up sometime.
You guys located me in the feed pretty quickly, so I was impressed.
Yeah. You know, we like to be efficient here. That's the name of the game of the Just Two Fans podcast is efficiency. So, you know,
Guys, I'm so excited.
2 days.
2 days.
2 fucking days.
And we get real live college football.
I'm so stoked. I'm so fucking stoked.
I don't
I
even care
warned
that
my
the
girlfriend.
game-
I still don't think she understands,
Uh,
but she'll learn.
You
She
should
gonna
have her
learn.
call Kate.
Should.
Kate will let her know.
Yeah. Do you want an absent boyfriend for Saturdays? Here it
'Cause
comes.
you picked one.
You need like an
Yeah.
infomercial.
Yeah.
Do you like having a boyfriend?
Yeah.
How about
Well,
one
here's
who
the
doesn't pay
good
attention
news.
to you for 5 months.
Here's the good news is both of her sons don't know a lick about football. Not a don't know what a first down is, kind of not a lick about football. And which is good for me because I can mold them into football fans. And you know, I'm still doing the quality time, you know, while I'm completely sucked into football because I'm just explaining the sport I love.
Yeah, and you can also like mold them into the fan that you are.
Exactly.
So like you can like this team and you can like that team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. We can like a little your hat too a little bit.
Yeah, you
We
can
do it a
sprinkle
little bit.
them in there.
You know, it's like I'm not a fan of Dion, but I still like Colorado. You know, Dion annoys the ever loving fuck out of me, but I still like Colorado, man.
I want to get something off my chest. I was talking to Cameron about this the other week, and
Okay.
this whole like, or I don't know if you pay attention to like Twitter all that much these days, but like Oregon fans are all over Colorado. Just like it's like borderline obsessive behavior.
Yeah.
And I noticed that it's slightly hypocritical of the Oregon fan base to be all over Colorado because while Dion's doing it in a different way, Colorado's doing what Oregon did back in the Chip Kelly flashy days. Pissing off the rest of college football, doing it in a different way, but
Yeah.
they're the newcomers on the block that everybody's pissed at. And now
Mhm.
Oregon's trying to be all high and mighty, and you can't do this. Like, guys,
Yeah.
just chill the fuck out.
I mean, there's slight differences there, obviously.
Obviously.
one being that Oregon won a lot of games.
Yes. and again, I told Cameron, I said the annoying part about Colorado is they haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Well, and
Right.
I think for me, it's not necessarily like I'm not annoyed at the players. Like I love Shadur and I loved Travis Hunter's maybe my favorite player in college football.
How could you not
Genuinely
be?
like if not my favorite, like definitely my favorite non-Duck, but like
Yeah.
might be my favorite including Ducks. I love Travis Hunter. I'm a huge fucking fan of Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I'm not annoyed. Like, it has nothing to do with them. I love their swagger on the field. I think it's great. just Deion annoys the shit out of me, man.
And
Like,
I totally get that, right? And
Yeah.
I even get like there's times where I'm just like, man, do we
Bro.
have to like again? Do we have to
like,
keep doing this?
there's something about Deion that I find so cringy. Like, I think he's just like, I don't know. To me, he just tries so hard to be cool all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Like,
there's some of that. But I think the thing that keeps bringing me back from that is anytime you hear somebody inside the actual program talk about him, they love him.
yeah,
Players
yeah,
included.
yeah,
Now,
I'm sure.
all the players that he kicked out of the program obviously don't like him.
Yeah.
So like
I don't think Deion's a bad guy. Like,
No.
again, like, it's one of those things where it's like, he just annoys
You're
the
right.
shit out
It's
of me.
cringy.
Yeah, he's cringy to me. Like, he just annoys me. Like, I don't think he's a bad dude. I'm not sold on his coaching prowess at all yet. But like, he just annoys me. Like, it's just like a personal thing. He always has, even when he was at fucking like, even when he was at Atlanta,
Yeah.
like when he was in in the league, he annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah. I mean,
When he was at when he's at James Madison.
he's a
Madison,
character.
right? Yeah,
He's a
I just like
character.
he just rubs me the wrong way.
Here's the other thing that I think Cameron can certainly attest to is I am also very much not sold on his coaching acumen as I walked out in the middle of an overtime game because I disagreed so much with what he was doing. So I'm not sitting here just pumping up Coach Prime like he's the next Nick Saban, right? But and you've said this, right? So I'm certainly you know preaching to the choir a little bit. Absolutely the right move for Colorado. Needed to fucking happen. Couldn't have been better. We'll see what happens the next couple years. I'm telling you right now, from everything that I have read, from reporters that I have paid attention to about Colorado football since I could read and comprehend football things, this team is wildly different from last year's. The feel from day one of camp has been different. The makeup of the team, the coaching staff that he has brought in to replace the guys that left last year, everything about this camp and everything about this team leading up to this season is miles ahead of where it was last year from any sort of credible reporting that I've paid attention to. It's very exciting for me. Now, am I saying they're going to go 12-0 and win the Natty? No, I'm not going there. Right? That's not going to happen. But if you told me that they were going to start 4 or 5-0 and face Kansas State in week 6 on that famous October 12th day that everybody's talking about, and all of a sudden we have another top 10 matchup, that's not out of the realm possibility with their schedule. Am I going to predict it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the weeks go. But this team's going to be good. So I will get off of my.
So to pull it back to the Twitter beef, I think so. Oregon fans started chirping right as soon as CU fans got that soundbite of they're doing it for clicks.
Yeah.
And had no leg to stand on and then got walloped. And that was kind of where that started. And now I think it's a lot of CU has done those things in the offseason to be a different team. And Oregon fans, you know, we're like a Star Wars fans base. We're toxic to each other. We're toxic to everybody else. And we just want you to be as humble as we are really trying to be. Some Oregon fans are not humble at all, and that scares the hell out of me.
We famously on this show do not defend Oregon fans.
No,
because we famously hate a lot of Oregon fans. So like that's when you're like, they're like, you know, Oregon fans are getting hypocritical on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Oh, they've been hypocritical.
Oregon fans are annoying as fuck.
I just like I have to like step away a little bit because like even some of my favorite there's some Duck fans I follow on Twitter that I really like. I was like, you guys don't need to stoop to just don't take it.
Well, I mean,
it's not even the same conference anymore. Just shut the fuck up.
The issue
on Ohio State.
Like it's like how Washington fans are chirping a lot right now. Right.
There he is. Chris.
There he is. There's our boy. Hey, let's all get one clap for Chris, all on my count of 3. Ready? One clap for Chris. 1, 2, 3. Good claps. Good claps.
Good work.
And if you can't get the clap, listen for when his daughter says "Daddy." You'll get right into it.
Nailed-
Yeah, right.
yeah.
She's telling. It's because I'm multitasking. I had to start the dinner and then come back.
Mhm.
They're
No,
on their tablets, but they're on the tell me when the water's boiling duty.
That's right.
Nice.
So if
That's
I jump
called
up,
cooking
that's
as a
why. But I'm
family.
here. I'm dedicated.
Yes. Good. We appreciate it. But like I said, so like, it's like why Washington fans are tripping at Oregon at every fucking chance they get, because they can right now,
Mhm.
right? Like before that Oregon CU game, I don't know if you guys remember, but the CU fan came out in droves talking
yeah.
so much garbage,
Yeah.
and then they got put down, and then but so like Oregon has the ability to be like, what? Oh, like like.
If
So it's the ability to be able to do that without having, like, they can't really say anything back.
I don't want to get it twisted. I am far from defending Colorado fan because Colorado fan from the time that I was wee little boy going to CU games at Folsom is notoriously shitty,
Yeah.
right? Just about as bad as Oregon fans, right? Like the reputation, it's kind of like you're fighting with each other because you're the same person. That's what I'm getting at. with
Yeah.
this
No,
whole thing.
very
Like,
much so. Yeah.
Oregon fans and CU fans are like this. They just fucking hate each other right now.
Yeah. It's funny.
And CU, so and the other part about it is CU fans, even from when they joined the Pac-12, have hated Oregon because first of all, they get shellacked every fucking year.
yeah.
And they're jealous of Phil Knight and the money that Oregon gets, right? So it's the same story as every other. It's the same.
It's the same reason. It's the
thing.
same reason
It
USC.
just
fans
I
hate
am
Oregon.
I'm caught right in the fucking middle of this one, so it's
Yeah.
a little more personal.
It's fair.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more of an exchange student in this fight or in this rivalry.
And I feel like I did my exchange like 4 years ago.
Then you
and-
went
Well,
home.
I think that's the other thing. Like CU fans trying to make this a rivalry, and it's just not
yeah.
right. So Oregon's like, go back. Shh.
Well, it sucks
Yeah,
because like
That's really cute. You guys
CU
need
got
to shut the
CU
fuck
got
up.
got their push, right? They got their hype, they got Dion, they got kind of that and that swagger that came from getting him and the program changing, and then no longer plays Oregon. Like, so if we had like another 5-6 years,
That's why I'm
like,
just
that would have
hoping-
been that would have built, and I would have loved that. It would have been.
I would have hated it.
Again,
but
you would've
provided
hated it.
I'm very
provided
glad
Dion
that
is a
this
good
not
enough
happening.
coach.
Agreed. But I mean, at least
There's a lot of ifs still there, right?
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
but
this is
rational
going to
thinking
die
like that
down
has
as
never.
Oregon gets into Big Ten play.
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
whole thing's gonna.
And we'll find someone new like Indiana or some crap. No, it'll just be pure. Here's the thing: we get pure focused hatred on Washington now. Think about that. I think Ohio State's going
I
to form
didn't
into like.
think about that.
I feel like Ohio State's going to form into like a Utah rivalry where you just beat the crap out of each other and you hate each other, but also don't hate each other.
I think Ohio State's going to hate us, but Ohio State
probably.
hates everybody.
Yeah.
There's no playing nice for Ohio State fans. That's
Yeah.
not a thing.
Or Michigan, maybe.
Unless you're Nathan Irby, then
I think they're all going to hate us for the next 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
the whole Big Ten.
Because we're crashing the party,
It.
and yeah,
I just think they're in for a very rude awakening. The whole Big Ten's puffing their chest out right now about how like Oregon's coming to play big boy football now. Like you guys are going to learn really fucking fast what actual big boy football looks like.
Yeah.
Like I've seen Purdue fans talking shit about like you're going to come in here and blah blah. You're going to learn what real football is from the West Coast. Like you guys need to zip it.
I'm not
You're
sure
about to
Purdue
fucking
knows what
get-
big boy football.
that whole
is.
fucking
Oh my
narrative
God.
drives me absolutely insane. This whole like, oh, if you're coming to the Big Ten, you got to learn how to play like big bruiser football, blah 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 blah. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Look, I would say the Pac-12 had more bruise them out teams than the Big Ten did last year.
Especially last year.
Like, I mean, think about like Utah. Utah's more physical than any fucking team in the Big Ten.
Utah's
And it's
fighting
not
this
close.
battle in the Big 12 too.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like it's not even close. And like, yeah, sure. Like, or like USC was more air raidy and like we have a lot of air raid offenses, but like, let's not get it fucking twisted here. Outside of Ohio State and Michigan and maybe Penn State, there's not any physical fucking teams in the Big Ten. You're gonna look at me, yeah. Purdue is a big time physical program. Like Iowa, yes, Iowa's a big time physical program.
Yeah, but I don't think we're scared of the big boys over at Rutgers.
Yeah, exactly. Like Rutgers, which famously is running a fucking not air raid, but like a veer and shoot right now. Like, it's just like, what are we talking about, guys? Like that's not what college football is anymore. Even Ohio State, the Blue Buds, these big physical programs, yeah, they have big dudes on the offensive
line. They all run the spread.
They all run a fucking spread, except for Michigan right now, and even Michigan still kind of does. Like Wisconsin is not what Wisconsin was 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
And they won't be.
This doesn't fit the narrative though, Eli.
What?
This doesn't fit the narrative though.
I know it's not as intriguing.
I just can't wait for the narrative to fucking get flipped on its face when Oregon just comes in and whacks all these teams.
Yeah. I hope that it just like, because with the Pac-12 being so good last year, and like people still being like, yeah, you guys weren't that like welcome to a real conference after the Pac-12 was like dominant last year. Well, welcome to a real conference.
Well, it's interesting because like I think personally, and maybe you disagree, but I think Utah is the most physical team in the Pac-12. The way they played, they were insane, right?
Yeah.
But there were so many people who aren't Pac-12 fans who would say, well, that's because the Pac-12 is not physical. And it's like, no, because Oregon has changed the way. Like this one irritates me about Oregon. Like I kind of hate the fact that the big talking heads all the time, Oregon, and they're going to kill you with their speed. Oregon hasn't been a team built on speed since freaking like DeAnthony Thomas left. Like they've totally tried to go more physical. They tried to with Taggart when he started recruiting. They were obviously more physical up front with Cristobal, and definitely so with Lanning. So they were physical. Washington played a very physical brand of football last year. That's why they were able to beat Oregon at the line, especially during the championship game for the conference. So there has been plenty of physicality in this conference and really good high level physicality. But because it was so speed based forever, there's never any physicality out here. Like Toby Gerhart and the Stanford Farm Boys weren't just running over cats because they were playing one of the most physical brands of football in the entire nation for a few years.
Those
Stanford robbed. He should have had the Heisman.
Dude,
right.
Toby Gerhart,
Christian McCaffrey too.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey not getting the Heisman is the biggest snub.
Maybe
That's
ever.
insane to me.
And then followed closely by Toby Gerhart. I don't know how. Like that dude was.
Well, that was
stupid.
Toby Gerhart was a Tebow year, right?
No, it was
No.
The running back from
Henry,
Alabama.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
No, that was CMC, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Henry was CMC.
Yeah.
The other one, running
Mark
back
Ingram.
from Alabama.
Mark
Mark Ingram.
Ingram.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Mark Ingram was fucking good though.
I would say the
I would say
Gerhart snub
CMC
wasn't as big. CMC was set the record for all-purpose yards.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like that's
But like Derrick Henry was a monster.
Yeah,
But like CMC was a monster also everywhere else.
and also had better rushing stats than
Yeah.
Derrick Henry did. Stupid. Anyway,
He won the best running back that year, but didn't win the Heisman to a running back.
I mean,
they're all going to find out soon enough.
Yeah,
That-
I mean,
looking at the
Pac-12 was
Gerhart year, it was Ingram, Gerhart, Colt McCoy, and then Ndamukong Suh finished fourth when he was one of the most dominant linemen the world's ever seen.
That probably should have been Gerhart Sue, honestly.
Didn't Gerhart win the Doak Walker that year?
CMC did.
No,
no, he's talking about Gerhart.
the Gerhart Ingram year.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, I think Ingram kind of swept awards. I think he Mark Ingram was unreal.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
college.
I know CMC won the Doak Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gerhart won the Doak Walker in 2009.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So it happened twice.
So
Yep.
he
was the
won
best
Doak
running back.
Walker and didn't win the Heisman to a
running back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I was so surprised
Nice.
it happened twice to a Stanford running back.
Reputation
Gerhart was
matters,
crazy.
man. Unfortunately,
I've never seen a guy not fall backwards as much as Toby Gerhart. That dude was literally a guaranteed at least 2 yards. He could be hit 7 yards behind the line and somehow he still got 2 yards. Unreal, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
He
never
averaged
seen
a
anything
half
like
yard
it.
less than Ingram, but he ended the season with 200 more yards rushing and 9 more touchdowns than Ingram.
Jesus.
Wow, that's a weird voting year for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
way to derail us. What would the show be without it?
Yeah. We're here having fun today. We're just talking about college football today, because we're so close, Chris. We're 2 days away.
So close, baby. So close.
I do want to talk about a couple non-college football things before we dive into.
While you do
week
that,
zero.
I'm gonna go check my noodles.
Have fun.
All right.
Okay.
Let me know how they are.
The Olympics wrapped up.
Mhm.
Did you guys watch more Olympics? I fucking love these Olympics.
No, not really. I didn't really watch that many.
The track was insane.
Oh, we
nuts.
talked about the track last episode, didn't
Some. We
Mhm.
hadn't got through all of it. It was just also good. The U.S. finished tied for the most golds, by far the most overall. Great Olympics. The one thing I want to talk about, the Olympics are coming to LA in 2028, and flag football is going to be a part of them. Did you guys see that? I didn't even know this was a thing, but Team USA flag football quarterback Daryl Doucette said that he is better at flag football than Patrick Mahomes.
This is one of those things where, I kind of get it is an entirely different game, right? Is Patrick Mahomes going to have that weird hip shit that they do in is that going to come
Mahomes' hips in a football?
Yeah, but it's not.
But I mean,
is it
is
going
it-
to
is
come
it good-
naturally to hide your hips and
and
some of
keep
the
the
stuff?
ball up here? It goes against his training. I'm not saying he is better than Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to throw the ball better than Patrick Mahomes, 1,000,000%. But it is a different game that Patrick Mahomes is not intuitive with, right? It's a lot of flag football is going to go against what Patrick Mahomes has been taught his entire life. And so I don't agree with him. I would rather see Patrick Mahomes in there than fucking Doucette, right? For the Olympics. But I can see where he's coming from. He's like, this isn't Patrick Mahomes' sport. This is a different thing. Right now, Tyreek Hill, on the other hand, you got to get him on the team because I think quarterback is a little different. Wide receiver, that translates really well. There's really no running, so whatever. I mean, there is running, but why? But the quarterback, I mean, unless you're going just straight, you're always passing and the quarterback's never running, I could see how he might be able to play the game better than Patrick Mahomes. Do I agree? I don't know. I've never seen the guy fucking play, so I don't know. But I know it goes
Just
against
watch him
everything.
throw one football. Look it up on Twitter right now. A video of him throwing one football.
And then look up a video of him evading, having his flags pulled, and just let both of those marinate because there are two sides to that. Because terrible throwing motion.
I'm not saying the guy's terrible at flag football.
I mean, he's got to be good on some level, right?
However, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think you're getting a little too serious though, because when he gets to 3 Mississippis, I kind of want the guy that can, protect his flags.
How about the guy that can just hit literally anybody on the field?
I want to think it's
which one is he? I don't. There's
He's
like
like
a
the-
weird double pass thing going on here.
He's like the lanky looking dude.
Yeah, I mean,
number 7 and everything.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I see what you're saying, Cameron.
It's a different sport, is what I'm getting at. So it's I could see why he says that because he's maybe the best in flag football right now, and so I don't know.
I mean, to my
But
knowledge,
I again, if you're like, hey Eli, do you want this guy on the team or do you want Patrick Mahomes for the Olympics? If I'm the selection committee, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes.
oh yeah, I'm loading
Right?
that team.
And actually,
Loading it.
if I had my druthers, it's Lamar Jackson, and it's not even close, right? 'Cause
I would
Lamar
have this guy and Patrick Mahomes in there.
I agree.
I'm not saying this guy shouldn't be on the field, but if you're
Right.
saying that he should be the quarterback, No, he should not. Now, can he be back there with Patrick Mahomes? Sure. That's fine. You can do some weird double reverse pass shit, and that would be dope. But that throwing motion is vomitous.
Vomitous. Yeah, so I don't know.
Anyway, that was the controversy today. Not really controversy. F1's back this weekend. Cameron,
Yes,
what
it
we got?
is. This weekend, we have the Heineken Dutch Grand Prix at Circuit Park Zandvoort. I'm so
Fun.
glad it's back. It's just,
What
you know,
time
I've
is
been,
it?
dude, I don't want to know yet. I'm gonna wait until Saturday when it's real, and I got to get
7
up.
a.m.
I've been enjoying sleeping in the past couple
Downtime.
weeks.
6 a.m. for me, so 7 for you. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad. And I've got a
I'm
couple. I've got a
up
couple good
anyway.
races to look forward to. As far as start times, but no, I'm excited. I want to see what we've got. I think after kind of crunching the numbers, I think Max Verstappen's going to win the drivers championship. I think just with Lando, he's 78 points out, but a lot has to go right for him and a lot's got to go wrong. And I watched a couple of guys that I follow for F1 really actually crunch the math, and Lando's finishing like 1.5 places lower on average. And so if they just go by the averages, he can't catch him. And if they go by their worst records or worst finishes, he can't catch them. So I think Max would have to finish outside the top 10 more than he does. So in the next 10, you have to finish outside the top 10 like 7 times, and Lando would also have to finish in the top 3. And that's just not going to happen.
No,
Well, you're
it's
dashing my hopes.
But that being
McLaren
said,
could win the constructors.
they absolutely could.
Man, I'm like kind of hoping for this because that was my prediction at the beginning of the season. Was Max wins driver, McLaren wins constructors, and I will feel very vindicated if that happens. You guys looked at me like I was crazy.
We did.
Because it was crazy prediction, but here we are. And
Jamie
it's
also
not
said that Max might win 19 races, and I told him that was crazy.
true. Well,
He
you
won
know,
19 last year.
can't blame him.
Yeah, but he
That's
wasn't going to win
crazy.
19 this year. I knew he was not going to. I didn't know it was going to be this different, but I knew that he was not going to win
I
as
don't think
many.
anybody knew it was going to be this different.
No, I don't.
And you can't tell me that after the first 2 race weekends, you weren't thinking the same thing.
I never thought he'd win the same amount of races as he did last year. I promise you, dude. I'm a staunch Max Verstappen disliker. And
I know that. Disliking and being real with what you're seeing with
but
your
I'm
eyeballs. are two different
also,
things.
I mean, you remember my top 3. I mean, I had Danny Rick up there, so I'm a little delusional. So I think I would have just held on to it's not going to
That's fair.
happen.
Cameron lives in his little
That's
Delulu
fair.
land of Danny
Yeah.
Rick.
I forgot about that.
And I'm
That's
still
pretty good.
holding on. Man's going to be driving for Red Bull next year. You watch.
You watch now.
Checo's going to crash out in 4 in the next 10, and they're going to realize he's got to go back down. So
Good luck with that, buddy.
yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen. But so we got a race coming up. I don't know if you guys saw, but we do have a second driver for Alpine, Jack Doohan, who raced in F2 and F3. And he didn't get the championship in either one of those. I read an article in the F2 season that he probably he should have got, he was just faster. There was a crack in his chassis they didn't find till 5 races in. So they didn't know that, why his car was just so unreliable and unpredictable when he was driving it. So yeah, it'll be cool. He's done some commentating for F1 TV, and he's done some other testing and stuff. Did some fast laps for Alpine last year. So
Yeah.
We still don't know who the second Merc driver is, right?
no, we don't. We don't know who the second Sauber driver is going to be. I don't know if Haas said who their second driver is going to be or who their drivers are going to be.
I don't
So
think Haas has any.
yeah, so Got a couple months and then we'll know. And a lot of stuff's going to happen. So
Huh.
that's all I got. I don't want to call a prediction for the race, but I will. Charles Leclerc, P1.
Okay.
Nice. I like that. I hope that's right.
Just to
I like
piss off
Charles a lot.
the orange clad fans.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be very annoying with their smoke bombs.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
When they
Right.
stop doing that, I'll start, considering their driver should win.
Maybe like it'd be funny if Mike McLaren was on the front line and they're like popping orange everywhere, and we're like, oh yeah, McLaren.
Chris, I appreciate the wardrobe change.
Yeah, I didn't get the
Wait.
memo. I was still in a sports mode. It was my OSA high school polo, so that still worked. But I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get the vibe going. So I'm glad you noticed. Thank you.
No, I haven't worn a jersey in a very long time. Gained weight.
They are snug.
It is a little tighter than it used to be.
That's why
So-
that's why you just need to go full fat man and start wearing hockey jerseys.
Oh, dude, I love a good hockey sweater, man.
Hockey sweaters are awesome.
Dude, and the Oregon hockey sweaters.
Nice. They're nice.
Yeah, I've got one, and it's so nice. I love
It's
it.
just
during
too
the winter.
hot out for them right now.
Yeah, it's so hot. Dude, I have like a problem. I have like so many fucking jackets. And so like during the summer, my closet's just like full of jackets. I'm like, I can't, and I have like no other things. So I just wear outdoor wear like 80% of the year out here because it's like nice and like mild. And now like, so during the summer, I'm like, I don't like have good clothes for the summer. And it's like, I have like 4 things. I'm like, I'll just rotate these, I guess. But here we are. It's also all golf clothes.
Couple more things before we get to college football. Baseball is happening. The Mariners fired their manager today.
They suck so bad.
Dude, they were so good. They were so good going into the All-Star break.
I mean, they went from a 10-game lead in the division to 7.5 back in the wild card. Like, what? And then they fire Scott Service. Now, Service probably should have been let go way earlier than that. But it's your dumb GM. Remember, keep in mind, fans, this is the guy who told you in the offseason that if winning 54% of your games, you should be really excited about that. No, I want a World Series, you idiot. God, what a dumb franchise.
I mean, to be fair, the Astros are winning 54% of their games right now, and they're leading the Mariners by 5 games. So, I mean, if they'd won 54%, they'd be right up there at the top of their division. He wasn't wrong.
but
He just
no
was
one
not
in-
as right as he thought he
Yeah,
was.
It's-
nobody
so-
in Houston flew a flag saying this is our goals to win.
You know what? That's fair. I'll
54%.
take that.
The weirdest fucking thing about this team is how dichotomous this team is. Because
Word.
thank you. They are, if not the worst batting team in the MLB, they are in the bottom 7, 8. And they are first in every major pitching stat. Their pitching staff is unbelievably good. They just have no one who can hit. And it's so fucking frustrating to watch.
Oh man, I'm looking at batting averages right now.
They're fucking awful.
Oh my god.
They can't hit. It happened to them last year too. They just stopped being able to hit completely.
Their average batting average is 216.
I'm
Whoa.
aware.
That is bad. Whoa. I guess
Yeah,
I
dude,
didn't
it's
realize it
fucking
was that bad.
bad,
That is
dude.
atrocious.
It's fucking bad.
Yeah, they're not it. And they made this. Team
Team leaders Julio Rodriguez is 260.
I was just
Team
gonna say
lead.
they made a
260.
mistake by backing up the Brinks truck to him just a way too early. That's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this guy, 1 good year. This money didn't let that one pan out. Just bad front office left and right, man. Always have been.
Yep.
I mean, this is the story of the Seattle Mariners, man. Like, you look at they had King Felix throwing freaking perfect games and shit, and couldn't give him run support. I remember watching so many games. I mean, you guys all know I'm a Red Sox fan, but when the Mariners are in your backyard, you watch as much as you can. Hey, how many games you watch where Felix Hernandez goes 7 innings, gives up 1 run, and the Mariners lost? like because you had no run support,
Yeah.
no run support. That's just the story of this
He
team
also
every
he also
single
had
year.
like a terrible bullpen that year too, or one of his perfect year or his perfect game year. He had a terrible bullpen. I remember one. He went like 8 innings, and he allowed 1 run, and then the closer comes in and allows like 4. It was just like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, just and it was like constantly something like
They
that.
just need to cheat the system and do what some of the other teams do, and in the off season, just maybe bring in those outfield fences, about 10 feet, see what happens.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
I don't know if it'll help. They can't fucking hit the ball. Ugh, it's frustrating.
Like, look at it's so weird. There's something in the air in Seattle though, because like Teoscar Hernandez, yeah, nothing. Then he goes, now he's a Dodger and he's just freaking mashing like crazy, right? Like everyone sucks in Seattle. They leave Seattle and they mash like crazy.
Well, and that's been the story for 30 years.
A long time, right?
A long time. You go to Seattle to get a little dirt under the fingernails, and then you go somewhere else and be a stud.
Yeah. Unless your name's Brett Boone and you're taking the juice, and then
you can exclude like those 2000, like those late 90s teams from that, right? Like,
yeah,
what was
like
happening at that
and,
time?
Yeah, they played in the Kingdom, but that's also terrible management all the way back then. You had Alex Rodriguez, and you didn't want to pay him.
There were other things
that team was like, if you look at that team, like that team was just, like,
were we
so
juicing?
fucking sick.
We were juicing.
Everyone was juicing.
The best athletes the science can manufacture is what we deserve.
I love juice, man. Like pump it, like give them juice. Like
Capri Suns, apple juice.
Yeah,
yeah.
Shoot it right in their veins. Give
right
them that
into the veins. That's all it was. It was just. That's why it's called rage. You're coming down from that sugar high, right?
Yeah. Remember?
Totally.
You remember the Soda Pop Surge?
Oh yeah.
Do I remember?
That's all it was. They were just pumping that into people's veins. So
that's what made Mark McGwire.
Yeah,
seriously. Man, I should look like a fucking Mr.
I know,
Olympia.
Dude. I was pretty ripped when I was a kid. I drank Surge all the time, so I was pretty yoked. I looked like Mark McGwire when I was 9.
Full beard,
just like walking around like, "Hey guys."
And then once you got off of it,
you guys want to go hit some bombs or what? What? No, I'm not drinking Surge.
Yeah, I bet you could ollie your tech deck so high.
Dude, so high.
So high.
Yeah.
My tech deck was on the moon.
Eli would show up with the whole skate park and all the attachments, be like, no, stay off
I
my
had
rails,
a buddy
bro.
who had
stay
all
off
that
my
shit.
rails.
Dude, I'd fucking grind that shit down, dude. I broke so many boards because I was so juiced up on Surge, man.
Did you guys see Backyard Sports is coming back?
I did.
Fuck yes, dude. I didn't see that, but fuck yeah.
Yeah, I heard about it on first like a couple weeks ago on New Heights.
Yeah, there's a Sports Illustrated article today that it's actually coming back.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's dope.
Pablo Sanchez,
baby.
Pablo Sanchez, the GOAT.
Now, if we can get NFL Street back too, my childhood would be healing.
Yeah.
You know,
or like a good blitz game again.
Ooh.
Like how dude, do you remember how much fun blitz was?
Dude, Jamie, we need to just like I need to come over and play blitz, and we just need to like stream it. I'll bring extra cameras.
I'm down.
Dude, I just remember like blitz was so much fucking fun.
Because yeah.
God, that game was
that's not good.
I remember my boys and I just sitting around, just what was it like, Engage 8 or whatever the
blitz was, the best,
and just like you just have like the guys just, like
just like 20 seconds after the play's over, you're still
they're all grunting
dude.
the whole time.
Yeah,
just like
God, that was so fun.
You ever play Mutant Football League?
I did not.
So Mutant Football League is a modern one, but it is the spiritual sibling to Blitz. Same type of thing, but you're like your velociraptors and robots and skeletons and stuff. But if you're the Seattle Seahawks, it's a fake name, and they have like made up names for Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, but they're all within the theme of what the character. It's definitely NFL Blitz. It's a lot of fun.
Just so you know, Mutant Football League 2 is in early access right now.
And it's on Steam.
Yep, and someone is going to be
Downloading
buying
it.
that.
Right now.
Nice.
Dude, that looks kind of fun. Okay, I'm in. And like, see, I just like, remember those like arcadey football games? And now we're like sitting here like, well, against a cover 2, I got to run a zig route covered by a fucking flat route. And the bullshit. I have to read the middle linebacker. This is bullshit, man. Let me just fucking huck the ball up in the air to bomb.
Well, hug a chug
You
of
know?
football and call it
Yeah.
a day.
Come
It's
on.
a good little
dude.
segue.
Roethlisberger.
We are in the playoffs in our Just Two Fans college football
We
league.
are. Yeah, dynasties. Look at us.
Yeah, you are.
Jamie and I are.
Hey,
and
Chris.
Hey, my
Chris made it
UCF
too.
team, they kept it, as together as they could. And we won the conference championship as a 7-5 team against a 12-0 Rice. Right.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
And we
I'm actually
qualified-
really glad because we're still jury's out on whether Cal is considered a Power 5 team when they're in the Pac-12
They are
or the
They
Pac-10.
get a
Yeah,
bye.
Pac-10. And so I might not have gotten in. If Rice was there at 12-0. I mean, Boston College jumped me at 12-1,
They played an extra game. All right. Maybe schedule some
and they
more opponents,
lost, and
dude.
then they jumped me.
No, they won.
Oh, they won.
They won.
I did just accept the Miami job. So I'm
Congratulations.
excited
Oh, yeah,
about that.
dude.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
I got offered the head coach job at Pitt, but I could be the OC at for the Chanticleers.
I go turn it on in a second. See where I'm at.
Yeah.
Did you answer
I
the
fired my
question? Does it?
defensive coordinator?
You fired him?
Yeah, it was because his pipeline was Wyoming or whatever.
Oof.
Like it was a really bad pipe. It wasn't Wyoming, but it was a really bad pipeline. And all his like skill tree was like exactly like mine. And like it only stacks so
Didn't
much.
help
And so I
you
was
at
like,
all.
no. And so I was like, I'm gonna go find a guy who has like a good pipeline somewhere else that can get me some bonus points in recruiting. So I felt bad because he was like third for defensive
Doing a
coordinator of the
podcast
year.
and they can
And he was fired, but I gotta get my recruiting in. I gotta recruit, baby.
You got to get the recruiting. All right.
So I was worried about that, right? Like I did all this work in recruiting. I got Arkansas to a top 20 class. I was worried. So when I turned it on and checked, I was doing my homework on the job that I was trying to get.
Good work.
And Miami has a top 10 recruiting class that I'm walking into. So, it's a pretty good gig.
Yeah, that's
pretty good gig.
I got
And
offered
yes.
the Washington State head coach job, so that's how well I've done.
To answer your question, Chris, you do play out the playoffs.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
good.
start my new job until
It's
after
good.
the national
It's
championship.
good to know.
Oh, that is good to know.
Yep. I was worried about that. I was like, I got to the playoffs. I'm a 2 seed, and I'm gonna fucking bolt for Miami.
Yeah,
Good. I can take my boys out against Nevada in my bowl game. So
yeah, dude.
a little victory lap.
Rip it and rip it, dog.
Hey, you
And
get a
then-
bowl win, and then
Yeah,
you move
well-
to Pitt.
Well, and Pitt's in the American Conference in our setup.
Oh, that's
So
right.
that's not
'Cause
really a step up for you.
No, I mean it's rated like that in the game, but
It's rated as a step up.
Yeah.
Does it say it's a upward?
Well, because UCF
Yeah.
was in a different what conference
Conference,
was UCF?
yeah.
Conference USA.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I think you're going to the American Conference.
hmm
Yeah, it's like widely considered a better conference. I think, especially last year.
I think Pitt's probably a better team, so you can win the American.
Yeah.
The American. You can win the American, and then you can get a.
We'll have to play
You're,
Chris.
the rough part is going to be losing some of those Florida boys in your recruiting.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss those 2 stars.
Oh yeah,
UCF has to fight a lot of people down in Florida.
that's true.
dude, including
true.
me now.
Yeah, gotta fight a lot of people. I'm just running away from Jamie. I'm like, I don't want to recruit against you. I'm recruiting against him in another league. I don't want to do it.
And I'm out here all by myself on the West Coast, baby.
Dude,
I'm
West
just like
Coast,
recruiting
West
Southern
Coast.
California like it's going out of style.
Dude, the Pac-10 put a hurting on UCLA too. They went 1-11.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I cooked them. I cooked UCLA.
I think UCLA is going to be pretty garbo in actual life too.
Yeah. Although they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. Remember in our Big Ten preview, we were both like, "Oh yeah," because they like gangbuster hires, coordinators.
Yeah, but
Who
Deshaun
wasn't?
Foster's
Yeah,
not it.
we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Time will tell. Last thing before we get to actual college football prep. One, Beauregard Nix is the
I love it.
starting quarterback
Love
of the
it.
Denver Broncos.
Hell yeah, he is. Dude, he's looked so good.
He has been incredible. And so did you know he is the first Broncos first round draft pick to start day one for the Broncos?
Wow.
I'm not surprised by that. As a quarterback, I assume, right? Because like
The second
Pat-
rookie. He's the second rookie to be a first day one starter.
because like Pat Surtain, I would imagine.
No, at quarterback.
Yeah, at quarterback. Okay. Like I was like,
John Elway's the other one, but the Broncos didn't draft John Elway.
yeah.
So
I'm
he's
not
the
surprised
first
by that,
Broncos
considering how
first
the
rounder.
Broncos have drafted quarterbacks in the first round over the last 20 years.
Well, they've only drafted two, but he's the third. Bo Nix is the third.
oh, really? Because they drafted Tebow in the first round.
Oh, sorry, three. Paxton Lynch, Tim Tebow, John Elway, and Bo Nix.
Was Brock Osweiler? I thought Brock was the
Second
first
rounder.
round.
For the record here, my undefeated App State coach has offers to be the head coach at Akron and West Virginia.
And
West Virginia's not a bad jump
But
though.
that's in the.
But they're in the MAC in this. And
MAC.
it's- that doesn't
Action.
Action.
It's in action.
No point.
No point. Especially since you built App State to what, number 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who beat
Yeah.
Cincinnati 83-14 in the conference championship game.
Hell yeah, dude.
Jesus.
It's awesome.
Dude, it's so funny. Like I see, like I was like going through the stats because I was last night I was up late. I wasn't feeling good, and so I was just like looking through like stats and stuff at the end of our season, and I was like, man, like outside of Jaden Ott, like I do not put up stats in this game. I am like such a grinded out win in this. Like,
Your defense is
don't-
good though.
yeah, outside,
Yeah,
yeah,
your
my
defense
defense is
is
pretty
really
good. But outside of like Jaden Ott, it's just like I'm not putting up numbers, man.
My
Yeah.
offense was very evenly spread out. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't even in any Heisman or any races because I ran the ball. Arkansas is like the team I've played the best with, and of course I'm leaving them. But
Yeah. No, it's funny. Like I'm actually like very balanced in that one. Like I'm only like a couple hundred yards off passing versus running. But like Jaden Ott's the only one I like consistently just go to.
I don't blame you. He's a fucking
Yeah.
animal.
He's unreal in this game, dude.
Let's circle back to the Broncos. Good news with Bo Nix, right? Awesome. He's been phenomenal in camp. Literally, like every day when I turn on the radio, and we've all, at least the three of us, have heard the Broncos quarterback races in training camp, right? It's happened
yes.
like 6 times in the last 8 years. So we're very familiar with how this goes. And every day it's been Bo look good again. Bo Nix look good again. Like he hasn't even had, like if we're going the golf analogy route, like he hasn't even had a blow up hole. Like he just didn't even have a bad day of practice.
Do you remember when everyone was shitting on him because his Senior Bowl performance like wasn't like
Yeah.
lights out?
Yeah. All of it. I mean, he's been great. The one knock that they have is he, even in practice, they're not pushing the ball downfield a lot, which I think they'll get there. I think Sean Payton's just trying to make sure.
But like
But
they
he
didn't
is
do that with
extra
Drew Brees that
comfortable.
much. Drew Brees didn't push the ball very hard all the time. Like he did it.
It's not
sometimes.
all the time, but Drew Brees took shots for sure.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I'm
Bo
sure
just
they'll take
hasn't
shots.
even, like the point was like even in the joint practice with Green Bay, like they didn't even try to take the shot. So like that's like, and they're like, we're not saying this is a knock, and they're going about their process the way they're going about it. They just said the one thing we haven't seen yet is the deep ball at all. Like it
My
just
guess
hasn't
is that
happened.
they're building confidence.
And they said that. They're like, there's 2 ways to go about it. You either need to get it out of the way or you need to build confidence slowly. And clearly they're going the confidence route.
Yeah.
The bad news from Broncos training camp, and boy, how I texted Eli on the way home. Troy Franklin is not popular in Denver at all.
Yeah.
He's been the total dog of camp. The guys on the radio were saying he drops the most balls. He gets cussed out by the coaches the most. He has not had a good camp. And they pointed out a soundbite from Sean Payton today where he said something to the effect of, these guys don't just get to get their jobs or keep their jobs because of where they're drafted. And it was in regards to Bo Nix, right? Like, he's not just getting the job because he was the 12th overall pick, but they were pointing out that they heard that as the other way, which is just because you're a 4th round draft pick doesn't mean you're making this football team. That's the way he's being talked about in the Denver media, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, part of me is wondering, like, if he's got the yips right now. And like, it's unfortunate because I think he could still have a really good career, right? But like, who knows?
But we even saw, like, the drop thing is not super surprising because he dropped balls at Oregon. They were like, dude,
yeah,
you got to make that catch.
Yep.
So good
We'll
and
see.
bad news for the Ducks in Denver. However, the one that we were all most excited about is starting day 1. And I'm
Love that.
stoked. College football.
It's time, baby.
It's back. Chris, you have no idea what we're doing, so we're just going to surprise you with it.
Sure.
You go right off the cuff. Week 0. First of all, how do you guys feel about week 0? I've heard 2 very opposing sides to this, and I honestly don't know which side I fall on.
I'm for it.
You're for it.
I like that it gives some like, I'm actually kind of for it being like teams that like aren't necessarily in the spotlight ever. Like this Florida State, like Georgia Tech game, spoiler alert, that's going to be on it. Like, I kind of wish that wasn't there, although it's in Dublin, which is crazy. But like, I kind of wish that game wasn't there because that's like kind of a big game. Because I think Georgia Tech's gonna be pretty good. But like, I kind of wish it was like week 0 was like a bunch of like small schools that like get their moment for a week, right? Like, you know, like New Mexico, Montana State, like that'll be like, you know, they get their moment week 0, right? They get.
I mean, I think the cool thing with this is they do get. I'm going to take yours and build on it because I think the way that this schedule specifically works out, there's 1 game per time slot.
Yeah.
Right? There are 4-hour chunks between games. They're starting out with a top 10 team. So it's like everybody's hyped. Game day can get hyped. They have something to talk about. Right? We can all get excited to watch a top 10 football team. And then we can watch the rest of the day with teams that, as you're saying, don't normally get that spotlight.
Yeah.
But we get all the eyeballs on college football to start because there is one exciting matchup.
That's fair. That's a good point. I didn't think of it like that. But yeah, no, I am 4 weeks here. I know people are like, it's pointless, like it throws off shit, but like, I'm for it, man. It's another week of college football. Who doesn't want that, you know?
I like it a lot. I think like I said, I know I was kind of flip-floppy, and it's like, kind of like the allure of opening day, like in baseball, where you just get 16 baseball games all day, like that is awesome. Or
Yeah.
the first weekend of the NFL where you just get to watch every team in action is awesome. The flip side of that in this, like, especially with like the team, like Hawaii is always a week 0 game and it's always the night game. Like, that's just kind of fun because the teams that play Hawaii in the preseason get the extra game. So it gives them an extra bye week. Like, that part's cool. So I think I agree with you. I'm for it. Chris, what do you think?
Give me football. I don't care.
Give me
It's like-
football,
it's
give me
like-
death, baby.
It's like going out to dinner. Like, you know what? You came for the main course, but when the waiter's like, you want to try this appetizer? You're like, yeah, I'll try that appetizer.
I'd love some
And
potato
it doesn't
skins.
fully
Thank you.
wet your whistle, but you look at your wife, you're like, you know what? That's pretty good. I might order that next time. And when your main plate comes, which is the rest of college football season, you're like, yeah, this is good. And then the college football playoff hits, and that's the waiter saying, "You got room for your dessert?" And you're like, "No, yeah, I'll take a hot foot sundae." You mean more food? Yeah, just give
I
it to
will
me.
have the cheesecake, thank you.
Yeah, there's no problem with extra football, baby.
Cameron,
Well-
what do you think?
I think that food analogy is definitely represented in this podcast by some of us.
All
That
We've
one
thought of-
really
we've-
hit home, but
We've thought about life too much like a 3-course meal, but no, I love football. You know, if we can start a week sooner, watch some games, start getting into it, you can kind of adjust. You know, kind of get into those fall football vibes before something's on the line most of the time. And it's just it's a great way for me to end the summer.
Pretty soon we're gonna have a week -1 and then a week -2.
And then we're gonna have
You
a
like
4th
to
of
start-
July
You'll
game.
start
and,
with
like,
one game, and
Yeah.
then week -3 we'll have 2 games.
Mhm.
Yep, and then just build up to
And
where we
year-round
get
football.
everything. Yep,
Good. I'm in.
and then in like July we'll be doing flag football, like 7-on-7s.
Yeah.
we'll have like college G League. Like it'll be
College G League. We can have like 2-star showdowns. The ones that like didn't get
Yes.
recruited somewhere, like they can get noticed by a bigger school.
it'll be the top 25
kinda fun.
intramurals around the country that play each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
They go down to like ESPN like World of Sports in Orlando and they play there for
Yeah.
like 10 weeks.
Air that shit on the Ocho, baby.
Dude, you can go watch those games like spring training. Just walk from field to field and just watch intramural teams play.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's what the XFL is, right?
Pretty much.
So
Well, it is now, right? It's like they have that partnership.
Yep,
So it's like a feeder league now.
Yeah.
kinda
it's a sponsored
unofficial
league.
feeder league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally we're gonna go through and do our Big Ten pick'em, and then we'll also pick or talk about at least the notable matchups throughout the rest of college football. Probably sprinkle Colorado in there somewhere. It's a lot easier to do when they
Just
were in the same
probably, but
conference.
we're going to.
Yeah, Colorado will be in there every week.
Colorado's a good story to talk about always right now. So we're gonna.
Well, and 2 of us go to our season ticket holders. So
Gotta
And
go where the
one of
heat is.
former
you know?
season
Gotta
ticket
go where the
one's
heat
a
is.
former season ticket holder. There are no Big Ten matchups this week, and there is no Colorado game this week. So we're just going to pick these 4 games. We'll give Cameron our best bet that he has to bet against all season. We'll figure out how much money we make him lose or gain.
Mhm, mhm.
And then we're also probably going to preview some of the Thursday games next week because obviously week 1 is a little bit weird with
Yeah.
a
And we-
huge
we-
Thursday slate.
We just probably won't have another episode out before those
Thursday.
games are played.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Thursday games. We'll probably get one out before Friday. I don't know. We'll talk about some of the week 1 games. This first couple weeks can be a little weird. We'll get into the full swing of things here in a couple weeks, but we have live college football coming at you Saturday, noon Eastern.
so
Florida
excited.
State technically at Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland. I saw something today that the Florida State AD is expecting 20 to 30,000 Florida State fans to be there. That's
Jesus.
insanity.
You know, that's like not that long of a flight, though. I guess.
It's expensive, but it football's different down there.
Yeah,
It just
football's
is.
different down there. You know what I'm excited for? Those Dublin fans of football, because those guys go fucking hard, dude.
So I
What was
heard
it, the Nebraska game last year where they drank the stadium out of booze.
So I actually heard something about that. I guess over there, like normally for like soccer games, matches, they don't sell alcohol in the stadiums because it gets so rowdy.
Uh-huh.
But college football lobbied basically as a part of their bargaining agreement to get it in Dublin that they are allowed to sell alcohol in the stadium.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily the Nebraska and Northwestern fans that drank the stadium out of alcohol. it
no,
was
I fully
all the
believe
Irish
it's just
fans.
Irish people who are like, "Fuck yeah, let's go to a sporting event. Let's go watch American football and be like pretend to
But-
cosplay Americans."
But supposedly they got in there like, wait a minute, we can buy beer.
To be
Yeah.
fair,
They just
Ireland does
nuts.
have Gaelic football. Like they have football that
right,
is
but they
that-
can't drink beer.
No, but it's county teams. They make up for it. But
Well, they
it's
pregame
like
like
football
no
is
other.
like it's not new to them, but it seems like every time a team like an American football team goes over and plays, they're just like fuck
Well,
it.
Cameron,
Do
we
as the
live in a
American-
globalized society. Football's not new to anyone. All right.
No, I mean we got NFL games being played in Mexico City and Germany and Wembley and all these
Brazil this year.
Brazil. Yeah, exactly.
So
Did I see something? Wait a minute. I heard this. I don't know if it's accurate. For that game in Brazil, neither team's allowed to wear green, and it's the Packers against the Eagles.
I heard that. I was watching some other podcast. Let me see.
I don't know why they wouldn't be allowed to wear green. I know it's the Brazil flag, but
Maybe it's like a
Pretty sure it's
Gang
the
thing?
because I read about this a while back, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the stadium they're playing in. Their main rivals, that's their color, and they have a ban on that color in that stadium.
Looks like
And-
it won't apply to this game though. It is waived,
Well,
but
there you
typically,
that's
yes.
a bummer.
But
There's
in general, that's what it is.
Yeah,
They have
two-
a ban on the color.
Yeah, it's a rivalry between two Brazilian soccer clubs, which means
I-
green is banned at the stadium.
Ban. I wish they kept the ban.
how great would that be? Because
And
like, what
then-
the Packers
then
have
the
to go to like
Packers
their
would
old
have
like
to show up in
brown,
like all
Those
yellow.
old uglies. Oh my gosh.
or like their old brown, like their throwback browns,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like the Eagles would have to come out and I guess all white, which would be kind
all
of dope.
white.
they had
or
that.
black.
They have that blue, that old blue, like sky blue and yellow one too.
Oh, true. Yeah.
They
that'd be
should
kinda
do
dope.
that anyway.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd be a
hilarious.
lot of fun. Anyway, let's get back to college football. I just thought that was a funny side note. Florida State at Georgia Tech. The line is shocking to me. Florida State minus 10.5. That feels wildly low.
I don't know, man. Florida State's taking a step back. Georgia Tech's taking a step forward. I mean, Haynes King back there, he was the surprise of last season. That dude's a monster, right? He can fucking straight sling that rock. And so I'm not like super surprised that it's 10.5.
I guess they did only lose to Georgia by 9 late in November.
Yeah, and then they beat Miami. Your new job, Jamie.
That's my
Remember to
job
kneel
now,
the ball.
not Mario
Remember to
Cristobal.
kneel the ball, Jamie.
Yeah, no, I take care of my stuff.
No, like I think Georgia Tech's a program on the rise, and I think Florida State's not going to be as good as they were last year. So I'm not like surprised at that at all. I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
You just like very naturally said program, and it like warmed my heart.
Good. And I didn't even notice if that even makes it feel better. Okay,
That's what I'm saying. It was supernatural. You've just
guys,
been-
I'm down bad right now. I spent yesterday at work. I was doing some like mindless tasks where I don't really have to pay attention to what I'm doing. On one of my screens, I had as many of college football teams' Hard Knocks as I could watch. I watched Texas Tech's, Oregon's, Nebraska's, Boise
Gross.
State's,
Why would you watch
uh,
anything from Nebraska?
because it found it, Jamie. It was there. It's college football.
He's
dog, and
mainlining
it's
college
actually-
football, dude. All right.
It's
Fair.
actually a really good. It's a good watch. It's a good watch.
No, it's not.
Their media team
Sucks ass like everything else up there.
is not as good as Oregon's because Oregon has the elite media team, but it is a very good. It's an interesting watch. I know you're gonna hate it, but
I'm not going to watch it.
dude, it was so funny. I
What's
was
gonna
watching it and
happen?
like Boise State's was so fucking cringe. It was so fucking cringe, dude. Like it like I said, like I think I mentioned it in our group chat. It looked like a fucking youth camp. Like youth group, like church
Gross.
camp. It's weird, dude. And it's like they're really trying to convince themselves that they're going to be good this year. And I think they're going to actually have a pretty good team. Like Ashton Genie is going to be.
I'm not excited
Right.
for him at all. Nope.
That's going to be rough to watch.
I'm not excited for that.
Well, they
I'm
got Malachi Nelson too from USC, who was a 5-star kid. But
He's
I
not
think
starting.
I just saw that he got benched.
Yeah, he's
Actually,
not
now I'm thinking
starting
about- Yeah.
for like a a chubby white boy.
Yeah, no, it's I like it, but it's just like it was the Boise State one was a hard watch. It's a hard watch. The other ones,
Good.
Texas Tech was really good. Although like I said, it was like funny to watch them like gush over 3-stripe uniforms. Because they talked about like going in depth about like the program history and how it like it means so much to them that they have the 3-stripe. I was like, but everybody has 3-stripe.
And literally everybody.
Everybody went to 3-stripe. But
Back
anyways,
to the-
that's what I've been watching.
Nice.
Yeah. I watched like 7 hours of just like college football hard knocks.
Back to our game here. Florida State, Georgia Tech, Dublin, Ireland, Florida State minus 10.5. Who's everybody got? Eli, start with you.
I'm going Georgia Tech.
Straight
I think
up.
they
Flat
come
out?
out and surprise them. Flat out. I think they come out and surprise them.
Wow. That would be, I mean, talk about a fucking wild way to kick off college football.
Hell yeah. That's why, baby. I'm here
Just
for it.
full chaos.
Like I said, I think Florida State's taking a step back this year. I think Georgia Tech's going on the rise. I'm going Georgia Tech to surprise. It's a good
Chris.
time for it. First game of the year. Like, you don't know what they're coming out with. Like, you don't know what Georgia Tech looks like. Perfect game for an upset.
It's true. Chris, what you got?
In my truly scientific method, I'm going with Georgia Tech because Porsche beat me with Florida State, and that still kind of stings. And I don't want to root for them. So
And we all watched.
Oh, I'll never
you
root for
all
Florida
watched
State.
my demise, and this
Yeah, we did. It wasn't as bad as Neil's demise, though. Neil threw 6 picks against Porsche
oh no,
in our other league.
oh man.
Yeah.
Cameron, who you got?
I got Georgia Tech to.
What is happening right now?
To cover?
No, they can't cover. They can beat the spread.
That's
Florida
cover, right?
No, if you're the favorite and you score
you
more, you're
cover.
covering. If you're
Oh.
if you're the dog, like they're gonna lose by less than 10.5,
So you got-
which means they could also win. Sneak that in there.
I'm gonna take Florida State covering. However, I did see that DJ Uiagalelei just got his passport. Like, this is the first time out of the country,
Wow.
which isn't shocking. I mean, he's in his early 20s, so I'm not gonna say that that's terrible.
Yeah.
But for teams that are like 4 hours apart driving, they're flying 4,000 miles to play. The chaos potential is there.
Yeah.
You're right, Eli. The turnover at Florida State, right? Like if we're gonna relate this to Oregon, if I had one concern about Oregon going into the season, it's that Dylan Gabriel hasn't played with these guys. So, like,
Yeah.
how quickly can they gel? And that I think Dylan Gabriel's better than DJ Uiagalelei, so I think that's less concerning for Oregon. Can DJ step in and live up to the top 10 hype that the Florida State Seminoles have? We will find out pretty quickly on Saturday.
2 days.
Man, 2 of you predicting a flat out upset and 1 beating the spread. I don't know that I predicted that, but I like it. Chaos. I hope I'm wrong. I want chaos. Montana State at New Mexico. Montana State is a 13.5 point favorite in this one.
Yeah, the Lobos are pretty bad.
That is
This
an
year.
understatement.
And Montana State's one of the better FBS or FCS programs. I'm gonna take the favorite here, but I don't think they cover. I think it's a close game.
Chris.
Yeah, I am going to look at this game, and I don't think Montana State gets it done, even though they're the favorite. I'm going to take New Mexico.
Cameron.
Montana State, straight up. Go Bobcats.
Straight up go Bobcats. I will be rooting for Montana State. I think New Mexico gets it done.
Like the
Okay.
split. Like the split.
That's what happens there. SMU, SMU at Nevada. SMU in their first game as a member of the ACC. going to Mountain West Team Nevada. SMU is a 25-point favorite.
I have SMU covering. I think this is going to be the worst game of the week. Well, no, it won't be, but
Same.
Cameron.
SMU and a shellacking.
Yeah. SMU big. Easy money.
SMU big.
SMU big.
SMU big.
Delaware
And
State
they-
at Hawaii. And I don't know if you guys saw this. Delaware
Ooh.
State missed their flight to
Yep.
Hawaii the other day. It might have been today, actually.
It was Tuesday.
Yesterday, then.
Well, there was a scheduling snafu with their charter bus company, and they were supposed to take a 3-hour bus ride to JFK because that was the
Yep.
only way they could get a direct flight to Hawaii, which was an 11-hour direct flight. And then they got screwed because they didn't. The bus company messed up. And when it was all said and done, they eventually got to Hawaii, but they had to take 3 connecting flights, which means they were probably on a freaking 19-20-hour plane ride to
Oh
get to
my
Hawaii
God.
with time difference. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, Hawaii big.
They're a 40.5-point favorite.
40.5-point favorite. That might be the biggest spread I've ever actually seen.
I think
Usually when
same.
they get like over 38, they stop doing spreads. 40.5 points.
That's a lot.
That is
I don't-
crazy.
I mean, I didn't even know Delaware State was a program, really. So I'm gonna say they cover.
Whew.
I mean, last year, they Delaware State averaged 18 points a game.
Oh my God. That's bad. Okay, Chris, who you got?
Yeah, this is easy. I'm going with Hawaii, and I'm going to throw it out there. They're going to cover, and part of that is because the travel. Also, part of that is because Delaware State went 1-10 last year and hasn't had a winning season since 2012 when they went 6-5. 6-5. Their final game of the year last year, they lost that one to Morgan State 69-7. The powerhouse Morgan State Bears that won 4 games on the year. Yeah, Delaware State, bad team with that travel. They're about to get beat up in that generic football stadium that EA Sports gave us.
Delaware State lost to Army 57-0 last year.
Oof.
I'm
No, there's
gonna
enough time in a
say
game for Army to score
I'm
that
gonna
high.
say Hawaii by 100.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hol-
God,
Hawaii by
They're-
50.
their quarterback. They went through 2 quarterbacks throughout the season, and neither of them. Oh, they went over 200 combined twice. Everything else, they
Yikes.
had 2 games under 100 yards passing.
That's bad.
They against Bowie State.
I
They
don't-
did their
know where that is.
their leading passer was 99 yards. Their leading rusher was 46 yards.
That's bad.
Not
Really,
good.
really bad. All right.
And
Eli-
also, too, their receiver at Hawaii, Ashlock, he is paying homage to Brennan by going bleached blonde with the black Hawaiian islands in his hair, like Colt Brennan did back in the day.
Hell
And
yeah,
Colt
dude.
Brennan is the absolute Hawaii football goat, so the vibes are strong. Yeah, Hawaii's
Colt
going to
Brennan
win
was insane, dude.
Go Bows.
Colt Brennan's a Colorado boy. Just saying. All right, Eli, best bet week 0. What you got?
Best bet week 0. I think it's Hawaii minus 40. That's as crazy as that sounds. The more I look at this Delaware fucking team, like they're so fucking bad. Like I think I could go walk onto this team right now and probably be their best player. I'm kidding, but I mean maybe, but I think it might be fucking Hawaii. As crazy as that sounds, I think it might be Hawaii at 40.5.
All right, Cameron, you gotta bet Delaware State plus 40.5. what's your
Is that your best bet too, Jamie?
No, my best bet is SMU minus 25.
Okay.
Nevada is really, for like Delaware State at least is an FCS school. Nevada is a Division I FBS program, and they were 2-10 last year and really, really bad.
Yeah, they're really bad.
So I'm going to take SMU minus 25. Chris?
I would say that the only bet is that there's 100% chance that our sports pants are going to be tight because college football's back.
That is the best bet.
Cameron, you're losing that bet.
I'm not betting against that. My pants are
We're
already
not
tight.
sending picks though. I don't want any picks, boys.
Nice. All right, let's talk about a couple of these Thursday games, week 1, because we're not going to get an episode out before them. Let's start with the headliner, which is North Dakota State coming to Folsom to play the Colorado Buffaloes. Line is Colorado minus 9.5. I think that's largely because people just don't know what to expect out of this Colorado team. And obviously North Dakota State is the most storied FCS program ever. Now they lost the coach that kind of got them there. They're still very good, but this is not the North Dakota State of the mid 2010s that was just beating everybody in FCS.
Like a little pushback on that one. They've gone through like 3 or 4 coaches since then, and all their coaches have gone on to have pretty decent success in like FC.
I'm not dogging on them.
No, I'm saying like they've maintained a level of success over coaches that doesn't really scare me that much, right? Because like they've gone through 3 or 4 since they had that like amazing run where they were like probably should have been an FBS team. But like there's like they really haven't, like through coaching changes, they really haven't fallen off. They just keep fucking nailing their hires. So, and I mean they obviously they get recruits still. Like they get guys to play.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. This is not one that, like, if Colorado sleepwalks in this game, they're going to lose.
Yes,
period.
Fully.
And most FBS programs will.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just can't sleep on this one.
Yeah, no, this is a very losable game for pretty much anyone.
Yeah. That being said, I think Colorado is, especially at the skill positions, the talent gap is going to be far too big for North Dakota State to overcome. And then obviously the biggest thing when it comes to this stuff, when you're talking about FBS versus FCS schools, is the depth. And then coming to altitude, like all of it combined, I just don't see North Dakota State getting this one done. So they may keep it close early. This is a very well-coached, disciplined football team. So they're going to keep it, like Eli has said forever, any team could keep it close for a quarter. So everybody's going to be saying, oh, I told you so. It's going to be close in the first half, maybe even. But in the second half, I expect Colorado to pull away with this one.
Yeah, I also have Colorado to cover in this game. I think if they didn't have Shedeur, I would be singing a much different tune. But Shedeur is him at the quarterback position. He is a monster. Like, he's just so fucking good. Travis Hunter obviously is one of the best players in college football, but like he's just at a less impactful position largely. Like you said, North Dakota State, really well coached, really disciplined, always really good team. But yeah, like the talent gap is there at very important positions, right? Like on the lines, they're probably fairly evenly matched still, right? Like
yeah.
North Dakota State gets those corn-fed boys out of the Midwest. But when it comes to the skill positions, I think it's far and away going to be handed in Colorado's direction. So I think they cover. I think I would probably put the line probably somewhere in like 14, like just at 2 scores, but that'd be my guess.
Chris, what you got?
Or whatever.
Boy, this is an interesting one. I mean,
It really is.
a
'Cause
really interesting
if
one.
Colorado does, if they overlook this game for some reason,
Yeah.
ooh, they can
And
lose
I
the
think you
game.
got to look at games like last year. I mean, obviously memorable for every non-Colorado fan, but I mean, like Colorado State, right? Like, I don't know if how much business does Colorado State have making that a game. You know what I mean? And it just went back and forth. So this is the type of team I think if Colorado makes some of those mistakes that they have made over the years, North Dakota is the type of team that's going to take advantage of those. So.
Yeah.
And if all that talking you do, the attitude that Dion has been giving media all off season, especially the last few weeks, you go out and lose that game. Oh man, that's the shine is off. It's already not as shiny as it was last year. Gosh, this might be one of the toughest games I've ever had to pick because like gut is telling me North Dakota State goes in and gets it done. However, I trust Dion enough to make sure that the Buffs come out with a win. So I'm going to say Colorado sneaks one out.
Cameron, what you got?
Colorado by 17.
Okay. Oh,
Fuck 'em
okay.
all.
Real quick. Can we talk about the quarterback and running back, or is it receiver from Colorado State, who turned down $600,000 each to enter the transfer portal and go somewhere else because they want to win championships at Colorado State?
Hey man, good for them.
Couple things. First of all, there's zero track record of that actually being true.
I thought they came out and confirmed it.
Other reporting in the Denver media is questioning that.
Calling
Oh, okay.
shenanigans.
Oh, they're saying that those guys were
Also, like,
I mean,
even if it was $600,000, that is fucking pennies compared to what other guys are getting offered.
still, could you imagine turning that down?
I mean, good
At,
for
like,
them
his
if
level?
they did.
At their level?
If you're that bought into Colorado State, then
Oof.
you've drank the Kool-Aid somehow. But
I just like my favorite is just like all the comments that are like, man, could you imagine turning down $600,000 to go 6-6?
yeah, no joke. No joke.
But anyways, I just saw that and I was like, that's crazy, man.
Hold on, I'll look something up real quick.
Dead air. Jamie's looking things up right now.
Dinner.
So, yeah, again, this is not one that I'm stoked about. Like, I'd rather be playing Delaware State, for example.
Yeah.
But better than starting against TCU, for example, last year, and Colorado won that one. So, and I think, again, we talked about it before Chris got on air. This Colorado team, by all accounts that I have seen, not just Dion talking about it, but by all accounts of people that actually attend practice and aren't Deion Sanders, this team is miles ahead of where it was to start last year. So I have to take that at face value, especially as a fan, and think that they're going to come in and get this done. I also think, like, I would honestly be more worried about this game if Colorado came out and went 10-2 last year and had all the faith that, like, they were just cocky and confident as all hell. The fact that they lost their last 5 games, I think they have something to prove. And so I think that actually helps. Chris, and your thing with Dion getting his team ready, I think that honestly helps for this specific game. So, but time will tell. It is a very intriguing week 1 matchup. Anytime you get North Dakota State playing an FCS or FBS school, it's intriguing. I think the last one they had, it was Arizona in 2022, and they lost by 3. So, you know, we know they can hang at the FBS level.
Yeah.
So certainly not one we can overlook. Other Thursday night games of note, we actually have some Big Ten matchups that we need to talk about. That is still just weird to say. I don't know that I love it yet, but here we are. Rutgers is hosting Howard on the Big Ten Network. There is no line for this football game. So
So
Rutgers
worse than
big.
Hawaii, Delaware State.
Right. But in theory, it means that Rutgers is a bigger favorite than ESPN doesn't even have like their, like the percent thing, like the predictor doesn't even
Yeah.
have it for this.
Really? There's like
I don't know that
100%
I've ever
Rutgers.
seen that either.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're missing a lot of lines though, so I wonder if they're just waiting.
They might be waiting.
Yeah. I don't know. Regardless, Rutgers by a lot.
Rutgers by a lot.
million.
It might rush for like 3,000 yards in this game.
That'd be crazy.
3,000.
You crazy
300,
Jamie.
but still
Big crazy,
a lot.
Jamie.
It's gonna be a lot. The biggest Big Ten matchup of week 1, I think, across the board. We got a few good ones later in the weekend, but North Carolina at Minnesota. This is going to be a good football game.
Yes. That is going to be a really good football game. The
Minnesota
line in
minus
Minnesota,
2.5.
that is fucking sick. That means they basically consider these teams equal.
Even.
That's gonna be great. You know what? I'm taking Minnesota here. At home. Again,
Row the boat, baby.
Row the boat. North Carolina took some massive steps back last year.
And they lose
with
Drake May.
With Drake May. Now without him, I can't imagine they get better. Minnesota, they're going to be again kind of like the PJ Fleck of all every year is like they're just kind of fine, right? And I think that's better than what North Carolina will probably be this year. So I'm taking Minnesota to win, which means they'll cover.
Man. I like them. Easy breezy.
Easy breezy. I don't know about easy breezy.
No, I didn't. No. The game's not going to be easy breezy. My pick was easy breezy. There's no debate for me. I think they take care of business, get the early season win. I do like UNC though.
Minnesota lost at North Carolina last year, 31-13. Again, a lot of turnovers. A very different UNC team. This one's tough. I can guarantee you, Cameron, this is not going to be my best bet of week 1.
No. Hey, you got to stick to your guns here with
I
last
stick
year.
to my guns, which is if it's a coin toss, I'm taking the home team. I'll take Minnesota. My confidence level in this is extremely low, especially because we haven't seen what either of these teams really are.
Yeah.
Man, what a good football game to start on next Thursday. That's fantastic. And
there are
then
a lot of like good football games. They're just gonna be like low level games, right? Like,
well, yeah,
Jackson
you're not gonna
State,
have a ton
UL
of top
Monroe.
10
That'll be
games.
close. It'll be
Right.
fun.
Yeah. And then the other Thursday night game in the Big Ten, we have Eastern Illinois at Illinois. Another game that has no line.
Illinois big, baby.
Illinois big, go
Top
Illini.
10 Big Ten.
You can get into this football
like
game
that.
for $2.
Okay, so I was looking at that earlier, and I was thinking one year would be really fun to like do week 1. We get the cheapest ticket we can, and then we fly out and just watch that game.
That'd be
As
As like a podcast, we buy the $2 tickets, and then we buy the $500 plane ticket to go watch this fucking game.
That being said, this year it'd be a toss-up between Eastern Illinois, and Southeastern Louisiana and Tulane in New Orleans. I would pick New Orleans.
we're
take
going
it to
there.
that Tulane game without
Yeah.
it.
For
Without
$2.
Without a doubt. There's also UConn at Maryland for $2. But
Dude,
no.
Tulane, you get to see Ty Thompson. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, no, it would be that Tulane game for sure. If we were to do that,
I'm gonna
our
look at
plane
flights
ticket
right
would
now.
cost literally
Look at
100
flights
times
right now.
more than
I can get there on Spirit Airlines or from Frontier Airlines for $148.
Dude, it's
Wait,
gonna
hold
be
on. I got no wait.
sticky
What-
down
what
there in
day
New
is it?
Orleans this time
What
of
day
year.
is it?
Yeah,
Hold on.
no, thank you.
That's August 29th. All right, I got to change the dates. Sorry, guys.
That's
So
70
fly out the
times more.
28th, leave the 30th. It's a $500 flight. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe we won't do that, but that would be fun. $644. So maybe
200
not, but
It's 300 times more expensive than your game ticket.
yeah. But wouldn't that be fun? 505 is the cheapest one. But wouldn't that be fun sometime to just when they first announced
Some
that week
random
0,
game.
just find
week
a
0
$2
game? Yeah,
ticket,
for sure a week 0 game.
find a
100%.
$2 ticket and just fucking go. Or like
Dude,
they're
I-
like this here, like this, like the $12 Nevada SMU game, $12 to get in. It's in Reno. We could all fly there for like $100 right now.
Yep.
No, I'm saying it would have to be Montana State, New Mexico. You guys fly to Denver. We road trip it to Albuquerque
Oh
For
gosh,
$15.
for
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah.
It's a lot
that's
closer
pretty
than
much-
that Arizona trip that we made spur of the
that-
moment.
Those tickets were $16
Yeah.
in 2016 when we
That
did
was crazy. We're just like, we're gonna wake up at 4 a.m. and drive down to fucking
It wasn't
Arizona.
even
And then
4
drive
a.m.
up-
It was 1.
Oh, that's right. God,
Yeah,
I took
Jamie and I
NyQuil
stayed
so I could
up.
sleep on the ride.
One
And
roll.
And
of
I
toilet
didn't
paper
I
was
didn't
not
really
enough.
even sleep because by the time I was done driving, it was light out.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible.
See, what would be fun to do? I'm surprised I've never done it living here, but it's like you get a place where you got places close enough, like Oregon State and Oregon, and if they separate their kickoffs, like if one was early afternoon and one was an evening, just double up and just catch 2 college football games in a
That'd be
day.
so fun.
That would be sweet.
That would be a lot of fun.
We should do that sometime, Chris.
Let's do it.
I want to go.
We can do that here,
True.
Colorado
Yeah.
State. Okay, that's it for the Big Ten matchups. Other key matchups on next Thursday. There's a couple ranked games, nothing of real note. You got West Carolina at NC State. That's going to be big money for NC State. Murray State at Missouri. Boy, Lindenwood at Kansas.
Lindenwood.
Hey, you know,
Yep.
the Lindenwood Lions.
Yeah, got schools that I've
Oh,
never
the
heard of.
Lions.
Yeah,
totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Lindenwood
Southern
Lions.
Utah at Utah is the other ranked matchup. So nothing big there.
Yeah. So I was watching on YouTube at work, on my side monitor. I was watching these guys do college football trivia. And it was just like you could see the SEC like East Coast bias on these guys. Like it was
Do we lose him?
Oh,
We
he
lost him.
froze.
He's gone.
The suspense.
That's what happens when you do the John Cena hand when you're like mid thought. You
Couldn't see
disappear.
him.
Like he's just like gone.
He's back.
okay. I was like, everyone froze.
Nope, you froze.
Where did I leave off?
I don't even have audio from him. I don't even see him in the chat.
Oh, you don't?
No.
This happened last time, remember? But it was me. I had to watch the stream to hear him.
Eli, leave and come back. There he goes. That's funny.
Good story, bro.
Waiting with bated breath.
Can you hear me?
There's our
Yeah.
guy.
There he is.
What I was saying is you could see their East Coast bias, because like it was like they didn't know like the only teams they knew in the Pac, because it was like they had like Pac-12, and the only teams that they knew in the Pac-12 were USC and Oregon. They were like at one point they were like
Like teams?
it was like insane. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they asked a question about like Cal, and they were like, Cal was in the Pac-12. Well, I'm just trying to think of the teams in the Pac-12, or it was like name.
Oh my god, it's painful.
It was like legit painful, and like they didn't. They're like NFL guys. They're like fantasy football guys. So like I didn't expect them to know a ton of college football stuff, but it was just like, why are you guys even doing this? You look bad because like, they don't know anything about. Like, and it was like they knew more about the East Coast stuff, but like just like the Pac-12, they had no fucking clue, man. They also didn't they didn't get the who was the first freshman to win the Heisman. In the SEC category, they're like, who's the first one? Who's the first freshman to the Heisman? It's like it's fucking Johnny Football. That happened not that long ago.
Yeah, and then the second one happened not that long after.
Yeah. Anyways,
Crazy.
Yeah. I was like, why are you
Filthy
guys doing this to
casuals.
yourself? Fucking casual.
Dude, imagine the casuals this year with all the conference realignment stuff. Like, I even have people that know I'm a college football nut. Like, I've had probably a dozen people in the last couple weeks be like, what conference is CU in again? Or
Yeah,
where who's Oregon playing this year? Like, oh God, you guys are in for
Okay.
a roller coaster.
So guys, oh, never mind. I lied.
What'd you lie about?
I was looking at plane tickets for SMU, Nevada, but I accidentally put in the wrong date. So if we
Bummer.
wanted to go to SMU, Nevada in Reno, I can get there for the entire trip. It would cost me, where's that? $12? $328 in its entirety.
Hey, that's the one you just take that type of game. You just take an extra day off, and you and I can just road trip it for like $180 in gas total.
True.
For like
True.
a 10-hour, 12-hour drive. I'll do it.
I would.
But I'll take the time. What I'll do is, if we ever do a road trip like that, what I'll do is I'll go back on YouTube and I'll just type in like a bunch of classic Oregon football games, and then I'll download just the MP3, and then you and I we can just take a road trip listening to old Oregon football games.
Dude, when Jamie and I were driving from Denver to Austin,
Yep.
we did it one day, and we listened to the Broncos game for like a while. It was Broncos Cowboys. It's specifically the game where Peyton Manning ran for a touchdown. And if you are a Bronco fan, you know exactly what game that was, because that was the only time he did that.
Yep.
But I just
And
remember
he faked out the whole broadcast.
Yeah, he did. And we watched the second half in Hooters.
Yes, we did. In
Which-
Podunk, nowhere, Texas.
Oh, don't know where in Texas, where we're like, you know what? Hooters is not good. The food is bad.
Dude, I have gone to Hooters a handful of times, because most of the time it was like Dallas was the last time I went, because there was nothing else open. I have never gone to Hooters and thought the food was good. It is
It's
absolute
awful.
shit every time I go.
It's awful.
If you're
Awful,
looking for that
awful.
kind of establishment, it's always Twin Peaks, baby. Twin Peaks on
Twin
top.
Peaks is
Good food.
actually good food.
Wings are good. Go on a Tuesday. Find out why later.
Cameron's a seasoned pro at Twin Peaks.
Just saying, it's like on the way home.
It is on the way home for you. So you got that going for you, bud.
And the beer's cold. Cold beer.
They do advertise that their beer is very cold. So got that going for you.
Cool.
Cameron.
Oh, did you guys see that Kirk Ferentz is suspended for week 1?
Mhm.
Yeah, for fucking recruiting Cade McNamara, right?
Yep.
What was the point, man? He got suspended for fucking nothing.
He's not even.
Yikes.
I don't even know if he has he been named the starter yet. I don't think they've named a starter.
It's got to be him, right? Who else?
No, because they got that other guy. What's his? Oh God, what's his name? Shit.
Ricky Stanzi.
Yeah. Yep.
You're right. It's definitely Ricky Stanzi from 2007.
No, it's not Ricky. They were talking about Ricky Stan. It was. I
Oh.
saw something where they were talking about Kirk Ferentz and his quarterbacks and how he's loyal to the returner. which is why
So
they
they've
think it's
got
McNamara.
Brendan Sullivan, Jackson Stratton. The depth chart, it's Marco Linez, Cade McNamara, James Resser, Jackson Stratton, Brendan
I think
Sullivan.
it's Brendan Sullivan that he's fighting with.
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes. Yikes is right. All right. Anybody got any closing thoughts before we get into real college football this weekend?
No, I just want it,
Needs to get here.
2 days,
Needs to get
2 more
here.
sleeps.
2 more sleeps. Eli, you're doing our buzzer beater this week. Listener, viewer, thank you for hanging out with us. We love you. Chris, thanks for coming on. Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate wardrobe change halfway through.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Super producer Cam, thanks as always for doing what you do. Say bye, Cameron.
Bye, Cameron.
Zeta June, thank you for letting us use your music as our outro. Everybody go stream some Zeta June. You want some good vibey music. Until next week, Eli, please take us away.
My buzzer beater is, by the time you hear our voice next week, college football will be back. Let's go, Ducks.
Deuces.